Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Today's webinar will be going into delivering digital buying experience and always-on customer service with Dynamics 365. I'll quickly want to do a brief introduction of my colleagues on the call with me today. My name is Chidima Vanessa, and I have my colleagues Babajide Bantale and Temitope Koya. We're all Dynamics 365 certified specialists. Before we I'd quickly like to go through the agenda for today. Today we will be talking you through an introduction of who we are at Reliance Info Systems. We'll also be taking you through the value of customer engagement. We'll then go into the applications that make up the customer engagement suite. So we'll be talking about Dynamics 365 marketing, Dynamics 365 sales, and Dynamics 365 customer service. We'll be doing also a brief demonstration of these applications, and then we can head into the Q&A session. Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat if you have any questions, and my colleagues will provide responses accordingly. Thank you very much. So who are we at Reliance Info Systems? Reliance Info Systems is a leading ICT organization headquartered in Lagos, Nigeria. However, we have footprints across other African countries such as Ghana, Kenya, Botswana, and we also have digital reach across several African countries. We are interested in helping organizations achieve digital transformation. And as a result, we have our success outcome philosophy that enables us to work together with our customers as our partners. So we only succeed as an organization when we be able to help our customers achieve digital transformation. Our success outcome philosophy helps us to understand that we have about 3 different pillars within which organizations would like to achieve digital transformation. We have the business transformation pillar, the operational excellence pillar, protection assurance. So what do we do within these pillars? We offer services around helping organizations to transform digitally by developing solutions at lower cost for organizations to help them improve and maximize their productivity. This in return also helps our customers to achieve more and become more flexible and scalable. Here are some solutions that we offer within the business transformation pillar. We offer solutions around identity and access management. We offer solutions around business productivity platforms, enterprise voice and collaboration, and some of the solutions that you can see listed on the screen today. We also have our operational excellence pillar, which speaks to helping businesses connect people, data, and their business processes. We understand that within every organization, they have a set of business processes that they follow, and we provide solutions that enable them manage these processes seamlessly. As a result, we provide solutions around modern ERP solutions, customer engagement, data platform, payment and collections integrations, and some of these solutions you see listed on the screen here. We also understand that even when organizations have achieved digital transformation across the business platforms and operational excellence platforms pillars, they also need to be able to ensure that their data and information and network is protected. So we offer rest of mind as a service within the protection assurance pillar, where we offer services around the gateway protection, endpoint protection, governance and compliance, penetration testing, and some of the other solutions you see on the screen today. How are we able to achieve this? So how are we able to deliver these solutions? It's worthy of mention that as a result of being able to deliver these solutions, we've achieved different competencies within Microsoft across all these various solutions. We also have silver and gold competencies across solutions like Azure DevOps, Windows messaging, application and integration. We also have advanced specialization in Windows Server and SQL migration to Microsoft Azure, change and adoption management, modernization of web applications to Microsoft Azure, and most recently, Teams calling and adoption. It's worthy to mention that we have also been recognized by Microsoft for all our efforts as the country partner of the year in 2017 for Nigeria, and the current partner of the year in Ghana for our sister company. Now that we've talked about who we are at Reliance Info Systems, I'll quickly want to talk about the value of customer engagement. But before we talk about that, I would also want to highlight how the customer journey has changed over time. So with the pandemic that hit the world last year, it's easy for us to see that the customer journey has changed. Now buyers actually spend more time researching on the products that they actually want to purchase before they go meet the sellers. So it actually puts the sellers at a disadvantage. Based on the statistics you see here on the screen from Gartner and Trust Radius, you can see that buyers only spend 6% of their time with sellers. It means they spend the whole 94% of their time trying to do research and understand and compare the products that are available for them to purchase before they eventually engage the sellers. And this actually puts the sellers at a disadvantage because they no longer have the opportunity to properly market their products to the customers. Now, it's also worthy of mention that 75% of buyers are from various locations and diverse groups. What does this mean? It means that sellers actually have to find a way to engage all these buyers from different locations and different roles and different groups to understand what their buying needs are and engage them properly. Of the 75%, 45% of this buying group is actually made up of millennials. Now, it's important to see that millennials now want more digital buying experiences because they no longer want the traditional walking to the store, order the goods and pay for the goods. They want a seamless end-to-end experience where they're able to go online, order the products or service and get it delivered to them with ease. And as a result, they want more digital buying experiences and they want more B2C-like experiences. Now that we've understood that how the customer journey has changed over time, we need to look at how this affects C-level executives and how they're able to make business decisions. So for the CMO, he's worried about how he's able to acquire customers across all these digital platforms and engage them and try to nurture the customers and nurture the leads that he gets across all the digital platforms. For the CSO, he's worried about how customers are able to seamlessly make their transition from lead generation to sales and properly close a sales deal within all the digital platforms that they have available. For the COO, he's worried about how to ensure that he maintains a proper relationship with his customers across all the digital platforms that he has and provide timely support to these customers, because providing timely support to the customers will also enable him retain the customers. And for the EM, he's worried about how to connect all the information that he's receiving from all these various activities within his organization and be able to make business decisions out of them. Now that we've identified how the customer journey has changed and how the C-level also needs to restructure how they think around the digital buying experiences, how can we retool for this new reality? So Dynamics 365 customer engagement actually enables you guide and collaborate with your customers remotely. It also enables you understand your customer and strengthen relationship with them because you have more information about your customer and how they interact with all your digital platforms. You're also able to optimize your processes to reduce cost, and as a result, because your information is now unified and you're able to make more business decisions to enable you optimize your processes and reduce cost. And you're also able to help your teams adapt to the rapidly changing environment because they need to be able to sell with the changes that are coming in transformation. So how can we guide our customers remotely? How can we use Dynamics 365 customer engagement to guide and collaborate with our customers remotely? Dynamics 365 customer engagement leverages on the power of artificial intelligence to provide more agile support to sales teams where they have more information and are able to make more proactive decisions based on the sales process. They have more informed decisions when it comes to the marketing and when the marketing customer journey within marketing has been transformed to a lead and the lead has been qualified to an opportunity. So as a result, they're able to then quickly transition that opportunity and close sales deals faster. Organizations can now be more agile because they have more insight to how they're faring within the organization and they're able to make informed decisions. Now, we have to now factor in the fact that more customers want more virtual meetings and more interactions remotely. So we're able to also virtually demonstrate our products with Dynamics 365 Visualize within the customer engagement suite of applications. And you're also able to collaborate using the Microsoft Teams, where you're able to set up virtual meetings and video conferencing meetings with your customers. And then with LinkedIn, you can stay informed on the business decision makers and the changes around their industry at the point. How does Dynamics 365 enable us to understand our customers and strengthen our relationships? Of course, customers are engaging with us across various platforms, be it websites, blogs, social media, Twitter, Facebook. We need to be able to take all that interaction from our customers and get more insights to how this interaction is what their feedbacks are across these various platforms and what they're looking to purchase or what they're interested in. And as a result, customer engagement actually allows you to seamlessly integrate all these platforms together in one suite of solutions so that you have a real-time view of how your customers are interacting across your digital platforms, and you're able to understand the relationship trends and understand how to predict their buying patterns. So with the predictive feature within Dynamics 365 customer engagement, it enables you to be able to predict what your customer trends are and also probably cross-sell or upsell products to them. And once you're able to identify the relationship trends within your customers, you're able to probably put out more ads around products that they are more interested in, or add products that you can sell to them to get more revenue within your organization. You're also able to gather feedbacks and sentiments across all these platforms, because once you're able to conclude your sales process, you're able to send out feedbacks and surveys. And aside from the feedback and surveys, you're able to gather information about the interactions that the customers have across all the digital platforms that you have, and look at how they are interacting with those platforms, and you're able to do some form of sentiment analysis within Dynamics 365 customer engagement. How does Dynamics 365 customer engagement enable you optimize your business processes? Of course, before now, sales and marketing teams used to be two different departments that were not fused together to talk to each other and get information from one another. They would usually traditionally just go out to the marketing and hope that customers come back to buy products from the organization. However, within Dynamics 365 customer engagement, you're able to eliminate these functional silos, because you're able to move a lead that was generated from Dynamics 365 marketing to Dynamics 365 sales once it's qualified as an opportunity. And then you're able to seamlessly close the sales deal and also provide support to your customers using the customer service platform. You're also able to automate these processes, so you don't need to manually go into Dynamics 365 marketing to automatically close, qualify a lead. You don't need to go to Dynamics 365 marketing. With Microsoft Power Automate, you're also able to quickly automate the process to send the lead, the qualified lead to Dynamics 365 sales. And if there is need to, you can also automate the process of customer service, automate a customer's information to the customer service platform. You can also be sure that your data is secure in the cloud, because Dynamics 365 customer engagement is a cloud-hosted application, and you're able to ensure that your data is safe, because it makes use of the Microsoft Cloud security and some of the data loss and data prevention policies that Microsoft has around their cloud-hosted environments. Please feel free to drop your questions if you have any questions in the chat. And like I said earlier on, my colleagues would be listening, be looking into the questions that you have, and then they will be able to respond accordingly. So I'll move to the next one, which is very important for all businesses. How does it help you adapt to the rapidly changing environment? You're able to make more business decisions with the interactive dashboards that are available within customer engagement. So you have more insights to all the activities from sales, marketing, even your customer service activities, and you're able to see interactive dashboards that show you where you currently are within your organization as within the sales process in your organization. So you're able to use Power BI to make more analysis of your data and make more business decisions out of that. You're also able to prepare your teams. So your sales teams, your marketing teams, your customer service teams, you're able to prepare them, because on the platform, you're able to put together a set of collateral that would enable you quickly respond to the needs of the customers. So if it's a marketing collateral, if it's a sales collateral, such as proposals, quotations, or your product brochures, you're also able to put all this into the platform, and then your sales teams have the ability to quickly retrieve all this information and carry out the sales activities. The platform is also very interactive, and you're quickly able to upskill your team by providing them with online resources and training materials that they can use to upskill with the rapidly changing environment. So I've talked about a few things in the past slides, and I just want to talk about the applications we'll be looking at today and how you can bring all the data together. So I mentioned earlier on that all these applications seamlessly integrate with each other, and as a result, you're able to take all the information within this application, the marketing application, the sales application, the customer service, and you're able to automate these processes. However, you're also going to be able to perform data analysis using the Power BI application, which is on the Power Platform, or if you need to create a bot to interact with your website, where customers are able to quickly go into your website and use the chatbot to ask questions, or they need support and they're able to use the chatbot. You're also going to be able to use Power Virtual Agents to create this. You're also going to be able to use Power Apps to create light applications to support your business processes. And of course, all this data is hosted on the cloud. So you need Microsoft Azure to be able to maintain your cloud security, your role accesses, and then also security. So how does this all come together? Of course, all this data sits on the Microsoft Cloud, which is a unified platform. And as a result, once you're able to gather all the information and unify them, you're able to make sense of your business data, and you are able to get proactive insights on the information that you have across all these various platforms, which would enable you make more business decisions and also improve your business processes if need be. Now that we've talked about customer engagement apps, I would also like to talk about how these processes are mapped within, how the customer journey is mapped within all these applications. So you're first of all going to be interested, within an organization, you're interested in creating brand awareness. You're interested in sending out email campaigns, creating events, creating webinars, or being able to understand how customers are interacting with your websites or your blogs. All this can be tracked within the Dynamics 365 marketing. So you're able to ensure that all the information that you put out there, you're getting feedback, and you understand when a customer either clicks on an email, and you understand the next interaction that the customer needs to take after clicking on that email, and you're able to see all that information within Dynamics 365 marketing. Once you are done with the marketing phase, you go into the phase where the customer actually is now convinced to buy your product or wants to buy your product. So you're able to either use your agents or your offline store agents or your e-commerce site, and you're able to properly sell these products to your customers. And in the process of marketing and also sales, you're also able to proactively provide support in case your customers actually need support around understanding what the product or the service you're offering is. And you're also able to get more information on how to better support these customers, because with the knowledge-based articles that are available in customer engagement, you're able to make proactive decisions in terms of how to best support your customers. So now that we've looked at customer journey, how the customer journey has changed, how the C-level executives, some of the challenges that they are faced with today, we would want to quickly go into the topics for today, the applications which we'll be demonstrating shortly to you, and talk about how some of these things that I've just mentioned in the past few minutes fit in. Dynamics 365 marketing enables you to elevate your customer experiences and improve business growth. So it is a platform where you're able to quickly put together different collaterals that would enable you put your product out there across the digital platforms, create a customer journey, and be able to put out this customer journey across your social media platforms or even your offline channels. You're able to quickly orchestrate that journey and then bring in the feedback. So once you've orchestrated your customer journey within Dynamics 365 marketing, the flow is such that the journey you've created, you're able to see how your customers are interacting with this process flow. So for instance, you create an email campaign. You want to be able to see when a customer clicks on the email campaign. And you want to also be able to design an experience for that customer that will quickly take the customer to the next step if they actually open the email. So maybe you design a flow that allows you to say, okay, so if this customer clicks on this email, we need to move to the next, we need to move this customer to the next phase by providing him more information about the product or the service we're offering in the email, which he was actually interested in opening. And as such, you're able to create a flow that would actually provide relevant content to your customers and also help you deliver seamless experiences across your digital and physical platforms. Let's now talk about Dynamics 365 sales. So Dynamics 365 sales, once we've been able to generate our leads, how then do we know that we're supposed to move the leads to the next stage? Like I mentioned earlier on, you're able to use a scoring model within the marketing phase to actually score a lead based on all the interactions that was gotten from the customer journey which you created. And as a result, you have more actionable insights as to when this lead is actually going to become an opportunity, and then you're going to be able to move that customer to the next phase of the buying process. You're also able to drive more personal customer engagement, because when they are interacting, the way they interact with the flow you have within customer journey would enable you to understand how you can better engage your customers and provide more inputs for them, or more insights as to the products and services that you're offering. And then you're also able to boost your sales productivity and your sales performance within the Dynamics 365 sales application. Would also like to talk about customer service before my colleague, Mr. Babajide, goes into the demonstration. So customer service, like I mentioned earlier, allows you to provide real-time support to your customers and actually provide proper support to your customers. So how can you do this? Real-time support, you're actually going to be able to connect your customer engagement platforms across all your social media platforms, so you can get feedback on what customers are saying on these platforms, or what customer quickly needs support on these platforms, and the information flows back to the customer engagement customer service platform, and you're able to quickly provide this support to customers. Apart from your social media platforms, which you would use the omnichannel to achieve, you're also able to provide self-service capabilities for the customers, where they have a self-service portal that they can log into and interact with your Power Virtual Agents. So in the scenario where a Power Virtual Agent is not able to help your customer resolve the issue that they have, you can then create a flow that will automatically transfer that customer from the chat bot or the chat window within the self-service portal to a direct agent within your customer service portal. You're also able to enable your agents, because like I said, all the information is unified. Your agents have real insight to your customer information, what your customer's last purchase was, what their complaint is, and they have all that information in one portal, so that they don't have to go back and start asking customer questions. They have more insight on how to probably help the customer resolve the issue, because they have knowledge-based articles that would enable them to do this. They also have information about the customer, so they're able to see what products the customer is most interested in, and based on the sentiments that they're able to gather, the sentiment analysis, because during these engagements, customer service actually takes some feedback in form of sentiment analysis based on how the customer is interacting with you. And once you're able to take that feedback, the customer service agent actually knows how to further engage the client and provide better support to the customers. So the service intelligence really speaks to the ability for customer engagement to track the sentiments, and also provide the customer engagement agents with more information on how to engage the customers. So I'll quickly hand over to my colleague Babajide to continue with the demonstration of the application. Thank you very much, everyone. And like I said earlier, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and my colleagues will provide a response.
Thank you very much, Chidima. I'll be sharing my screen right now to walk us through the in-depth of marketing, sales, and customer service. Please, can you all see my screen? Okay, great. I believe you can all see my screen. Right now, we are on the marketing event management. This is basically just to simulate a scenario where we create an event and register for the event, and basically you get to see the sessions, the speakers, and the likes here. So after this, I'll basically show us what powered the creation of this and the engine behind this current portal. So currently we are on the sessions, and we can see the list of sessions that we have here. And we have introduction. You can see the individual who is Chidema, that's taking the introduction down to the customer service, where you have me, and also the Q&A being facilitated by Koya. Clicking on each of these links will take us to the individual, give us a brief introduction of the individual, and you can also check the LinkedIn profile for that particular individual, and also see the list of the sessions the individual is going to talk about. Yeah, and this speakers also shows us the list of the speakers that we basically saw earlier. To register for the event, this is how the event registration comes up when we click on the button here, and this can be also customized to your own look and feel. Basically, we're just taking it out of the box and showing you the capabilities it offers and the benefits and value that you can get from using this platform. So I've taken time to fill this form, and I'm going to submit basically into it. And this gives me this notification here saying thank you for registering. And for all that we saw right now are just configuration based. There was nothing hard coded, or we had to sit down to write some things onto it. This was basically powered by configuration based. And this is the marketing event here. So the scenario we're trying to have a marketing event that a webinar we're trying to run, and we're trying to create awareness about the webinar. For example, like we have right now, delivering services and products and values to you. So basically, we are creating awareness about this marketing event right now, and there are other features that will allow us to create the awareness through the marketing email, your social media campaigns, and the likes. But I've taken time to just go into the event basically and register to see how to give us a look and feel of how that is. So this is the engine behind the portal that we saw earlier, and we can see this has basically configuration, the start date, the end date, the streaming provider. We are basically using Teams right now to stream this event, and we can see the agenda. When we move to the agenda tab to see the list of the sessions, we have a calendar view of the list of the sessions, and we also have the tab view, the list view of the sessions, and we can see the speakers who are basically going to talk about each of the sessions here. And basically, if you have some form of sponsors, you can also drop them into this place. The form we saw on that on the page is basically powered by the marketing webinar form. I'll basically walk us through it and see to show us how we can also see the individual that have submitted, the insight that you can generate from there to help you make informed decisions when you're planning or you're doing some form of meeting or reporting within the organization. So for the registration and the attendance, we're going to see the list of people that have registered for this particular event. And the last individual I registered by showing all record, I can get to see the individuals that I added just now, which is this Bantale Ayola. Clicking on this and opening it up, you get to see the QR code being generated, which can be sent automatically to the individual. We also get to see basic information about the responses, if there's some form of responses for the particular individual, or maybe there's some form of questions, but we've kept it minimum so that we can basically scale out of this and show you the value that this offers to us. So behind the scenes, this has been created as a contact within your into your own environment, and you can basically start sending campaigns, emails, social media posts and the likes to this particular individual. You target those marketing materials to this individual to basically make them buy into your product or services, or some form of advice you are rendering to them. So the event management capability is well integrated with the platform, and it allows us to capture leads, allows us to generate leads, and allows us to know the insight, gives us insight into what we can basically achieve from it. So from the event active registration that I've showed earlier, we have what we call the marketing, tracking the marketing website. I know a lot of organizations want to track who visited their website, what page did they visit. So we have the tracking capability also embedded out of the box for marketing, where you can basically put in the website and the URL of your website, and it basically starts tracking that website automatically based on some form of interaction. So these are the unique visits, these are the pages people have visited, like this article. We have 2 unique visits and the likes, and there's no form of form submission, but basically these are the named individual that has come into this URL to interact with it, and the timestamp and visit duration. You can all get that directly from here by using the embedded marketing tracking feature. Likewise, the marketing email. I talked about creating awareness, and one of the ways you can do that is also to create the marketing email campaigns, marketing email material that you can send out. This the solution also provides an avenue for us to create the marketing, design the marketing environment, and so design the marketing email environment, and also be able to send all this out. You can do test send, or to see the look, send it to yourself, send it to your colleagues, to get reviews and the likes. And you can also get to see a preview of this, and also an insight into who has interacted with this email since it has been sent out. So we have a lot of interactions so far. We have 13 delivered, the click-through rate, the open rate. We can get to see all that showing up here, the unique clicks, and the clicks basically within here. We can get to see all the responses over time, and we can get to see the delivery too. And the delivery also shows us how many of the emails have been blocked, the one that's been sent, the contact emails, the contact within the target that this was sent to. You can also get to see the interactions. The interaction shows us the time, more like a flow of when this email was opened, when this email was delivered, and the likes, and when this email was sent. So we can get to see a view of that, basically from just opening this email template or email, the marketing email, and seeing when this was delivered, when it was opened, when it was sent, and the likes. So this here you can allow us to do a lot of planning, help us with the planning, help us with decisions when we are meant to. And basically we get to see the interactions over time as we have here. And these are part of the insight also that you derive from using the marketing tool like Dynamics 365 marketing, basically. And also the lead generation, the concept is to generate leads. And one of the ways you also want to generate leads is to ensure that you are generating strong leads. And because of the seamless integration between Dynamics and marketing and sales, you want to, these leads are going to be handed off to the sales individual, and you want to hand off strong leads and also the weak leads, but basically strong leads to allow the sales individual, sales team members to focus on and continue the conversation from there. So we have what we call the lead scoring model that allows you to drop some form of model, some form of grading system that allows you to determine individuals that are basically sales ready. So based on your own process, based on your own decision, you can basically do the conditions and an action and assign grade or points to them. So for example, we have the webinar, the marketing event that we created, I showed you earlier, that once they register for this particular event based on this condition here, when the event has been registered for, I want to assign 50 points to them. And this is the 50 points. Basically, you can also add or subtract based on what you want. And we also have what we call the grading system. This is basically where you get to tell the system that, okay, once they have an accumulated point of 50 or 70, then I think this individual are sales ready. So based on that, you can decide the grading system. This duration here from 70 to 100 falls under the strong lead, while from 40 to 69 falls under the average lead. So depending on what you want to do, you can basically achieve that using this lead scoring model. And this will ensure that your sales team, your sales member are actually speaking or interacting with the individuals that are meant to interact with, the individual that actually will help you, convert those deals to one deal, basically. So we have the lead scoring model to ensure that you get that up and running. Likewise, the social posts, there are a lot of social media accounts that are available, media handles that are available, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, IG, and the like. So we've configured for Facebook basically, and this basically shows us how we can configure basically and also send out. So this is just a test Facebook social media post, which we just sent out, and this can also we can get to filter in their the individuals that have interacted with this post, basically on a like, comment, and share basis. We can get to see those information showing up here. And we also link to that social media post. So provided you have your LinkedIn, company LinkedIn or personal LinkedIn accounts, company or personal Facebook accounts, you can basically configure that here and schedule your posts. You can schedule a post for a whole month, and those posts will go out according to the way you've scheduled them. Or you can also send those posts immediately using the Dynamics 365 social post feature here. And this also allows us to bring in data. People that have interacted with this, you can get to see their value here, and also we target them in a customer journey process. Likewise, the segmentation. The segmentation allows us to define the set of people we want to send our campaigns to, we want to target, we want to send our contents to. So the segmentation allows us to do that. And based on this segmentation, you can have behavioral segmentation. You can have behavioral segmentation. You can have, just click this out. You can have a query block segmentation. This will allow you to do select the values that you want and do what you want to do. Or basically, you can have the behavior block. This can be based on the emails clicked, any behavior that your prospect or your lead has had with one of your contents that they met in the past or presently. So you can get to use this behavior block basically to capture them. If they open an email, you may want to capture them for some form of content again in future, or for form of sending information to them in the future. So basically, there are a lot of options for you to allow us, retarget new leads, retarget existing lead, or retarget individuals or prospects that have interacted with some of your content in the past before. And last, I think the customer journey is where we piece everything together. I've talked about the events, the lead scoring, the social media posts, the segmentation, and the likes. The customer journey is more like the heart of the marketing itself. It allows you to piece everything you've created, from the segments, which you can combine one or multiple segments together, and you can see the total number of individuals you're reaching out to immediately. And you can also see, we are bringing this into the marketing event, and we are sending it. If they've registered, basically, you want to send them a marketing email and for confirmation and the like. So these are part of the journey that you can take a customer through, and you can ensure that they go through each of this process. If they don't qualify for a yes option, they can also qualify for the no option, and you can also retarget them, accordingly, basically. So we can see the insights here generally showing up here, where we can have the total number of individuals, the individuals that has been processed, and the one that are currently being processed, and the one that have stopped. So basically, we have none stopped here, and we have a lot of individuals that have registered so far, and the marketing webinar confirmation email that has been sent out to them. So based on that, you can get to do your conditional logic and make this as complex as you want to speak to your own specific business process here. And on the right hand side, you can get to see the KPI as we have here, the delivered, the total open, and this is for the webinar confirmation email that I've currently clicked on. You can get to see the delivery funnel showing us the total number, 13%, delivered 9, and unique opens 7.7% here. You can see the volume KPI. This speaks more to the data that you have here, the insight that you can work with based on reporting, from reporting standpoint and the like. So you can get to see everything showing up directly from a single view itself. And some of the capabilities also is the LinkedIn integration that we have that is embedded currently within the system. So if you have a LinkedIn campaign, you're running some form of LinkedIn campaign on your LinkedIn page, you can basically sync those data that are going to capture, that directly into your Dynamics environment. So this will help you facilitate the total number of individuals you basically captured for this particular campaign. And you're going to see, as we have here, you're going to see the details of the individual basically, and how they were captured, the source they were captured from, create more insights into it. And also from the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can get to see how you can interact with this individual. For example, engineer Schweib Quasar, you can get to see how we can also move, interact with them, and send an email directly from this CRM to their LinkedIn email basically, and also do some form of icebreaker, and also get introduced or find related leads within that platform here. So this speaks volume to the insights, to the integration capabilities that are seamlessly in this application that you can also basically leverage on without breaking a sweat from just using the application itself. So we have generated a lead, and the next step is basically to hand over that lead to the sales individual. provided the lead is sales ready. So once we are done with the LinkedIn generation and the marketing form and your marketing email campaigns, and you're done with the whole customer journey as we have here, we're done with the whole customer journey, then we can basically say for every lead generated, you basically want to see, you will basically want to hand them over to your sales team. So I'm currently on the sales team, and I don't know if there's any question. You can drop your questions on the chat, and my colleagues will try as much as possible to reply you. I'll give you the best answer to it. So currently we are on the lead, and we're on the sales rather right now, and we can see that we have the dashboard showing us charts of open opportunities, all opportunities, the sales leader dashboard, and the list of the opportunities that you have currently and the activities that are being currently run by your sales personnel within the organization itself. So this is just an overview of the dashboard, and you can get more of this provided on the one you selected here. So I was basically on the lead, and just showing us a sample of how insights comes into play when you're working with the leads itself, and when you're working with leads, the opportunity bits anywhere, from the marketing to the customer service, everything has embedded AI capabilities that will allow you to make informed decisions as you work with this system. So this is a sample of an existing lead, and showing us the list of the insight basically on what we have so far in the system. The lead score is improving based on what the system has configured to be to happen in the system. You can see that we have a good relationship, and that's also improving. We don't have any next interaction or activity scheduled with this individual, and there's nothing, there's no interaction with this individual, and that can be true because from the timeline perspective, we have nothing showing up as an interaction for this particular individual. And we can see that basic information are captured by this for this particular individual called Alex Baker, and we can see the company information and also the map geocoding coming into effect as we have directly here. And some of the features also that you can also speak to that can help you with decision making is the relationship analytics that we can also get basically from here, showing us the list of the phone calls lesser than compared with this with other customers. It's showing us just metrics and key performance indicator basically of the activities of this current and the previous year for this particular clients with in relation with other customers in your system itself. And you can see that we have the customer interaction, and on the left hand side by them, by us, as the case may be. And we can see the hourly investment, the response time, the email send and receive ratio, the relationship activities so far, the email sent, email received, meeting sent to phone calls received and phone calls made, basically. And this also comes with the fact that you can also integrate it with your LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get information directly from it, like I showed earlier, basically on that environment. So I will just quickly go back and try to open the link that that was created and was sales ready, which is Bansala Yola. Yeah. So before I jump into walking us through a process here, I would like to also speak to the capabilities of the AI showing up here, the next best action, as we may call it, coming up in action here, or coming into play here currently. As we have in this center, we have what we call up next, recommending the next best action for us based on what you've configured in the environment. So this is an opportunity, and you basically want to open this and mark this as complete if that is the next best action recommended by the system for you. And based on that, we are actually done, and you can have a list of activities or tasks you probably want to do or perform on this particular for this particular opportunity or particular deal before you close this deal as one in this scenario. So the sales accelerator comes into play that to allow us predict or select or recommend in this scenario the next best action for our sales team, for our sales member as they move on with interaction with the customer itself. So I've currently opened the individual that I created earlier from the marketing event, and this has been funneled into sales and has been handed over to the sales team. And basically, we can see that I have the information as we captured here, the company name and the likes. And if the address was also captured, you get to see see that here, and the map will also light up as we have here. So I'm basically going to just speak volume to the timeline activities, which is one of the ways we can also continue the conversation and interaction with this particular individual. So there are many, yeah, okay, this is up and running. So there are many activities that you can create from the appointments to the emails, because the email capability is also integrated with Exchange Online that allow you to send email, and this also will show up in your Outlook. For scenarios where you're quite familiar with Outlook, you can basically use the email capability there, which I will basically show minutes. And this is happening today by 12 p.m. for 30 minutes duration, and I can just close this out. So based on the integration possibility, also this email or this appointment rather in this scenario will be sent out to this particular individual as soon as possible, and also integrated into my own Outlook when I open it up. So I will have it integrated into my own Outlook when I open up my calendar, basically, with time. So this facilitates some of the out-of-the-box integration that you don't need to worry about as we move on. Likewise, email capabilities, you can basically out emails directly from here. You don't need to worry if it's if you're on Outlook, is it going to be the same? Can I get the list also under my sent email? Basically, it shows up under your sent email as we move forward. I'm basically going to try to use a template to avoid typing a lot. So I'm going to select a template, just select a test template to help us populate so I just basically select these, and you can see this populated immediately. You can also format this as you want and make this let's say 20. It's big enough. So this is more like a test template, and you can also create your own templates and insert it, create your own template so that your sales members can basically insert immediately and make a little bit of modification. And this will reduce errors and the likes within typographical errors within the application itself. So let me just basically make that happen again. Can also attach your files and the likes, and also send this immediately to the client. So the client will get this information, and it will show up as a timeline in your for this particular record, basically, and you can get to see the timeline is similar to Facebook timeline, Twitter timeline, showing us the list of activities basically that has been happening over time for this particular individual itself. So I just demonstrated, appointment emails. If you've made some phone calls or you received some phone calls, you can basically integrate it with this, or put this on it. So if there's some form of contact center solution coming up, you can get to see that here. So what we have in preview regarding the call is the Teams preview coming out very soon. I think around July also, where you can basically make phone calls directly from the Teams there. So this is coming out very soon, and we can have that seamless integration with the contact center solutions within this application itself. So provided this individual is happy with the conversation so far and is ready to move forward with what we've proposed or the conversation, we can basically qualify this individual, saying that yes, okay, I want to move this individual to the next stage. Yeah, and this is what's it called? Duplicate detection coming into place. So I basically just ignore and save for the sake of the demo here. So you can see that the lead has been successfully qualified, meaning that we have moved from the lead stage into the opportunity stage here. And you can see that this has moved from qualified to the develop stage here. Now, this shows us the list of things or list of activities that the sales member can basically do or fill to ensure that they are up to their game when interacting with this client here. So I see that myself has been created as a contact. My company has been created as also, and this has been linked together and also pushed forward for me. And we can see down here that the list of activities that I have from lead are also pushed directly into opportunity for me, showing us showing us a 360-degree view of the customer, and we are not losing any data or leaving any data behind. We get to carry on every activities and to keep us informed of what has happened, what is happening so far. So let's say this individual is interested in Dynamics 365 marketing. So this is a proposed solution in marketing. You're proposing a solution called Dynamics 365 marketing. We can basically put that in. If you've identified the stakeholders, you can get to see on the stakeholders showing up here. And the sales team, if you also identify them, you can also link the sales team together into this environment. So I'll be moving on to the next stage just to show that we identified the sales team, we presented the proposal, and the individual is ready. We can also move to the finish stage as we close out from this opportunity. Now that we are quite satisfied with what the client is, what we've proposed to the client, we can then itemize the products or the services that we have given to the client. So let's say this is coming from the price list called wholesale price list. Then we can add our products to it. So I'm just basically going to add the products just for us to have an overview of how the system carry this forward as we work on. Get a quantity of 2. I can add it. You can see once I add it, I get this added to more like a cart into the cart here, and I can save this to opportunity. It shows up basically under the opportunity and does the calculation for me here. So I have it showing up here, and I have the value and the tax also being calculated for me here. If there's a form of discount, you also want to apply bits percentage or in the actual value, you can basically put that in, and that will also calculate that. So provided we are all good with this, we can then move into the quote stage to ensure that we move on to the next stage to bring on the quotes. And we can see that a new quote, a new pop-up shows up here, telling us a new code has been created. And we can see that we have carried forward every information that we have so far from the client down to this quote area. And we can see we have the potential customer showing up here, and this is also connected to the opportunity for us here. And we can see the currency, the price list that we've used, and the products here. So we just basically need to confirm from the clients by sending the PDF version to the individual. So you can basically download the PDF version, email the PDF version as the case may be. So I'll just download right now and also try to email this to the clients too. So how happening in a lightning speed, we don't need to download, open Outlook, attach. This gives us everything within Dynamics immediately. Ayala. So I'm basically just sending this out, and you can see the code showing up here and the attachment showing up here, and I can send this out immediately while I wait for it to come into my environment here. So some of the things I've sent out are these here that I'm receiving. the appointment that I shared with myself. I can see I'm receiving it as a client. The client is receiving this, and I can also accept this. I can also see the client also receiving, the thank you for your interest that I sent earlier, and I will basically wait for the email for the attachment to come in also. So aside the download and the email capability, we can also save to SharePoint. SharePoint has storage capability, at least I think of 1 terabyte, I guess, more. So we save data not into Dynamics but into SharePoint, and this has a native integration also. This is more like the fourth also native integration we are leveraging based on the Microsoft environment itself. So provided the individual is okay with the codes, then we can activate the codes, then move into the next session of creating the order directly for the individual. But in a situation where the client wants you to make some changes, you can basically just revise the codes, and it takes you to a state where you can make changes, those set changes by the client, and then activate the codes and move on. So in moving on, and all positivity, I'm going to create the order as the customer is also happy with that, and I'm going to also close the opportunity related to it, which is marketing webinar opportunity. This will be closed as one, and also calculate the if there's any extra cost on codes, you can also move that directly into the opportunity itself. So it's not only forward direction, but in this situation, we are calculating everything we have in quotes if there's new changes directly into the opportunity, basically. So the order has been created, and with all from all looks, we can see that we are all good, and we can fulfill the order. Then create invoice. So if there's some form of backend ERP you want to integrate this with, then this can be done this can be provided for you immediately. And one of the out-of-the-box integration is the integration with Dynamics Nav that we can also leverage, which is a back-end ERP system. And you can also use any of your ERP system that you have that we can make the integration work for you. And lastly, we can also create the invoice directly from here. So what are we getting? What value are we getting? The value we are getting is a 360-degree view of all interactions, an end-to-end process without breaking a sweat, from marketing directly to making sales to this particular individual. And you can see we can calculate the return on investment on that marketing campaign that we ran based on the sales we've made from that particular marketing campaign we generated, that generated this lead rather. So we can see that we are at the invoice stage, which is more like the last stage, and we can confirm the invoice and sorry, I have to cancel that invoice. And say that the invoice has been paid, basically. So this gives us an end-to-end. So I can basically move from the contract back to the opportunity, back to the codes, back to the opportunity. And we can see we have an end-to-end process of how this lead was generated and how it was moved from the marketing standpoint down to the sales process. We get to see an end-to-end process of everything that we have here. You can see I've jumped back to the lead, and I can see all the how this has moved from the qualified stage to the close stage, basically within a short period of time. And some of the integration that we also can leverage, with sales team, with your sales member, is through what we call the Office 3, the Microsoft Teams rather, where we can integrate or bring in Dynamics, bring in the look and feel of Dynamics into Teams, and we can also perform the other operations that we've been doing so far. So let's say the company name here was Airtel, and I basically want to search for Airtel here as an active contact, active account. I can make my search here. I can get to see Airtel showing up here, and every information that we have so far on an account, we can also perform it. The LinkedIn Sales Navigator also comes to life as we move on. We can get to see the list of activities so far, the opportunity, the order fulfilled, the codes, the email that have been sent out, the appointment we've created with this particular individual, and also this gives us an end-to-end, a 360-degree view, holistic view of everything, every interaction so far. We can also come into the LinkedIn Sales Navigator and also match this. Let's say for Elson Net Nigeria, we're matching this to it, We don't have the member profile because this is an account, but basically we can see it's matching to an Airtel Net Limited for instance. And if we can search for the last name and the first name, we can basically send let's just match this for the sake of this drama. We can basically send an email directly from here, and we can send that to the client. Say this is an this directly to the client here, basically. So these are all the embedded capabilities that we can also enjoy. I also talked about SharePoint integration, and this is where we can get those SharePoint files integrated with our own dynamics. So we don't need to save documents and the likes, and we can just keep it for data related issues, and we take our document related issue down into SharePoint. So this offers a native and out of the box integration for that kind of possibility itself here. And for the Outlook, so this is my marketing webinar coming up. This. So you can see I have a meeting by 11 a.m. popping up here with Ayola. So this is part of the capabilities you can also enjoy from using an integrated capability. So this is showing up, it's happening now, basically based on the appointment I created earlier. Part of the things we can also enjoy is the bringing of dynamics. The way I showed you here, bringing dynamics into Teams. We can also bring them directly into our Outlook here, so we can get to see the dynamics and interact with dynamics basically from here. So we are syncing with this, and we are tracking every of our interactions with it. So we can get to see the tabs showing not tracked, and we can see some of them have been tracked to dynamics. So this offers the capability to also see the list of things that we can do, the account, contact, and we can also populate, add more to it, as the case may be here. So this gives us an end-to-end experience, integration experience, seamlessly out of the box that we just need to leverage on, latch on, and ensure that we enjoy the services offered by this individual. We can see the individual I just created right now showing up here, and we can also populate it directly from here if we are to convert an email directly from here into a lead, or create a lead directly from it. So there's the integration capability with Outlook, with Teams, with SharePoint, and a whole lot more LinkedIn integration, as the case may be, or custom website as you may have it. So we are done with sales. If there's any need for any question, please kindly drop it in the chat. My individuals, my colleagues will basically work on it. So I'm on the customer service right now. This is basically earning the customer's loyalty for life, and you can see I'm currently on the list of active support cases. It could be support tickets in your own scenario, but list of active resolved cases, your draft emails, your activities showing up here, and the likes. You can also lash on to another dashboard just to get another overview of what is happening and what they are doing currently. So you can get to see the look and feel here. Based on the omnichannel capabilities also, you can lash on to see if you're using a WhatsApp, a chat capability, you can get to see everything showing up here. So there are multiple ways our client can reach out to us, through an email, through a phone call, through chat capabilities. We can get to see everything light up here, and we can walk through it. So I'll basically just want to start from the chat process here. I'm logged in from chat process here, and this is a custom portal for self-service. So I will just say hello. I expect this to light up where down. Yeah, so you can see the chat request coming in for this particular visitor, and I can accept it as a service agent and start replying the individual. And we have some quick replies that we can basically look into to basically help us do less typing and quickly respond to the customer, as the case may be. And I'm going to switch back to see how this. So I'm facilitating this by myself and switching screen, so I need help. So I assume this is Ayola requesting for help, and I can Okay, let me just bring this back close to it. Okay, it works. The name. Here I can basically go into getting the name and doing a search for the customer, if the customer basically exists or not. So this is Ayola. I load up the account to get the information about this particular individual. And I can say, open this individual for me. Let me see the information about this individual. And you can see the live smart assist coming up here. This is part of the embedded AI showing us, providing knowledge based article, more like the repository of resolve issues or things that we can leverage on to provide information or resolution to the customer's issue here. So I basically opened up Ayola's account to see his role, to see what he has so far. So far, he has not dropped or created any support ticket with us here. And we can see all that in here. So we are requesting for a marketing hub. And let's just say, so what particular hub, what specific issue can we resolve? From Ayola's standpoint, Ayola may basically say, let's say customer journey in this scenario. And the individual can use this, to do a search in the knowledge-based article. Let's say to search for customer journey and see, okay, I have a list of customer journey news here. Can basically pop it up and see if this will probably resolve the issue, and take the link here and post it up for Ayola to look into or to resolve the issue. So Ayola gets to see this link. Yeah, and he or she can click on this to open it up for him or her. So while we wait for that to come up, so this is part of the embedded capability that you can use chat. So in a way, if Ayola basically just want to go into the self-service portal that we have here, this is out of the box, to say, okay, I would just want to create support since I've reached out, I've done this, I've done that. I just want to reach out. And this is the link to the support case, to the knowledge-based article that Ayola can basically follow and ask for reply if this will resolve the issue. So let's say this is one of the issues that, thank you. Then from there, the individual, which is the client here, can say, okay, thanks for. And can close this as end, basically, within this, and say, okay, I'm done with Ayola. And this, you can see the insights, sentiment coming up, basically showing that this was slightly positive for the interaction with the individual. And we can close this basically from here, saying that we are done with the individual, and we can move on to the next thing. So peradventure, the Ayola in this scenario, which is coming under my username to sign in, is using the self-service portal. Can basically log a case directly from here. And we can see a list of the issues that are coming up, suggestions that are coming up, lighting up here. This is part of the embedded AI. And if I do customer journey or configuration, for example, I get to see configuration installation that we can run through. So peradventure this does not resolve the issue, I can decide to create a support request and say this is for products. I So this is just a simple process of how they can leverage self-service portal to submit a report or a case or a ticket to us here. So basically, you can see the case has been generated, case number has been generated, and this is also showing up as on my portal here. So if I go directly into case and I do a filter, or I basically use Teams to log into the case, and I get, for example, I filter the case, I can basically use the Teams to also resolve the issue basically from the Teams perspective based on the integration we're leveraging right now. I can use that to resolve the issue, and this will show me the list of what has happened, what we have so far, and the origin is coming from the web. And can you send me, this is the description here, can you send me this and that? And basically we can leverage this to resolve the issue. And we can also go to the web to ensure that we resolve the issue using the web too. So basically want to switch from newest to oldest, vary all cases. Newest to oldest, configuration based. Say we've read this and we try to identify what we can do, then we can see that some of the timing has come into play here. This is more like the SLA timing that has come into play here. So the first response is within 5 hours, wide resolution should come within 1 day. So as much as you want to configure that, you can also configure this to your own look and feel. Basically, you can get the information that the individual has provided here, and likewise, the timeline functionality still exists. The functions still exist here. You can send an email, send an appointment, and basically do other functions that we have here. You can also chat with the portal individual, basically using the portal comments here. Always. These are some of the things you can do. This is more like a chat. Sorry. More like the chat capability we can also leverage within Dynamics here. So this will basically, on the portal, Ayola is going to see this as a message on the portal, basically. And these are some other things depending on what they are for project service, outbound message, for invites. If you're sending out invites to the individuals, you can basically use this. This is related to the portal also. So what I want to talk about is also leverage knowledge-based article to kind of resolve this issue. So based on the configuration, which automatically pulls the case title into the knowledge-based article, we can also recommend this and look at how this is, and also forward this or take a link and also put it in the portal comments, or email this content to the customer immediately. So basically, you can post the link, take the content, email it to the customer. You can see the article here. So provided the individual is logged in, the individual can basically So I'm just speaking to the different ways, different avenue that the individual, the customer, the client can reach out to us from the omnichannel perspective and the likes. From the omnichannel perspective and the like, I'll be talking about the WhatsApp capability very soon. Just to show us how that works, I'll basically try to move into the customer service scenario also, where we have this showing up here. So we basically want to talk about the WhatsApp and how the WhatsApp also comes into the environment here. So I'll be telling one of my individuals to send me a message from WhatsApp. As this has been sent, we'll await while this comes up for a brief time. And this is a message coming in from WhatsApp saying hello, um, saying hello, and I'll be chatting with the individual. I'm going to use one of the quick replies also to ensure that I minimize typing and try to send this immediately. And you can see we have the sentiment coming into play immediately, telling us this is a neutral sentiment analysis showing up right now. So as we wait for the replies from the individuals, we get to see that I'm currently in the busy state, showing that I'm replying the customer, I'm replying the client, and you can see how this shows up as we get information from the individual. So this is one of the platforms also that we can also use. You can see we have a waiting time of 8. This shows the analytics for us. Waiting time of 8. The engagement channel is WhatsApp, basically, and the start time for this conversation is at this as we have here. So once we get the information from the individual, we can basically use. This is not just for resolving issue. We can also upsell and cross-sell basically for this, and we can also use the customer service scenario to capture new customers, new clients, new leads into the organization. So this scenario is, can I get a quotation for 30 laptops? So we'll ask for the name. From there, you can basically create a new account. Once you get the information, create a new contact and route this directly to the sales individual for them to finish up or take on the conversation basically. So this is not just to resolve cases. You can also upsell and cross-sell basically from there. So that's one of the scenarios also. The last scenario I want to talk about is sending out email directly from the customer to us. So let's say we are doing a new email and we send an email to our customer service, sending a message to our customer service email here. So sending this email, we can automatically create a support request in Dynamics, which can be picked on and be routed to the necessary team in this scenario. So I'll wait for this to send out and wait for this to be populated within Dynamics, basically. And once this is populated within Dynamics, we can get to see. I get to talk to it immediately. While we wait for that, some of the things that we also benefit from is the insights. All these are being sent out and generated basically from the. We can get the insight so that we can get the insights and to work on the insight and to make informed decision based on the insight that we can generate based on the summary, the agents showing us case volume trend, case volume by the status, incoming cases by their channels, where or what channel has this client be reaching out to us more. The open cases by their priority, the cases by their age, how long has this case been open and what is happening, why is it open for a very long time. So you can get to see that, you can get to see the customer satisfaction trend moving up and the sentiment trend also moving up as we have it there. Likewise, I think this is similar to it. We can get to see. So I'm going to end this and just close this out here. can get to see insights based on the analysis of the operation on the customer service workspace as we have it here, the ongoing conversation, and also the intraday insight monitoring as we have currently here. I think so just allow some time while this comes up here. And if you have some question, you can drop it on chat box. And as we know, we are gradually coming to the end of this webinar as we have right now. Gradually coming to the end of it. All right. Okay. So just want to confirm this as well. So this has gone out, so we just wait for it to come in. And do a refresh. This will basically come in, and we can pick up that request from there and start. We can route that request to the next individual that we have here. So the routing capabilities are basically simple, but based on the queues that we have. The queues are more like a group of individuals, group of the teams basically that can work on our request. So we can basically route it. So for example, let's say this is a high priority kind of case. We can save and route this immediately based on the routing rule defined within the organization. We can save and route this to the particular customer or to the particular team. I can say that do you want to route based on the active routing rule set. We can route it automatically and based on the high priority selected. If I go to queues, I'll be able to see that configuration showing up there on the all items. I can see this here, and I can pick this up as a member of the queue and work on this, and I will show to show myself that I have picked this and I'm basically the individual working on this here, and I can move into it and start providing solution for this case. And I can see some of the information that we have on the chat on the timeline are also showing up here. As I moved this to the first level support, it was showing up here and everything, and the individual who posted it, which is me, basically, and we can get to see how we can, as we try to resolve these cases here, get to see how some of these, turn up and turn off as we have here right now. So basically, the first responding succeeded because of some action that we performed on it. And once this, we've provided the solution and the likes, we can then resolve the case. Let's say we resolve the case in this scenario. You can say problem solved for this. So what we get here is an end-to-end process of how we can leverage marketing, sales, customer service, to pull in lead, to have an end-to-end sales process, to service customer, and also cross-sell and upsell based on the requests that we get from clients, be it existing or new. And we can also basically send them some form of customer feedback as we have here currently. So this is a sample of the customer feedback that we have created, and we can also use to gather information regarding this particular individual. So some of the emails I've sent in the past are just coming in, which is the quotes that we created and we sent out to the customer. We can basically preview it directly here, which is this here. I can get to see the survey for the case resolution. This is going to come out this way, and we can get to see the metrics for this particular survey, as people start interacting with it based on their responses, we get to see what we have here. So this this is also integrated with Dynamics, and this you can get all the information directly on Dynamics also, basically. So I don't know if there's any question right now. You can basically ask the questions. I think we are gradually at the end of the whole meeting or webinar. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you, Babajide. Thank you, Chidema. That was very insightful. I think at this point we just have to encourage our audience to send in their questions now so we can address them during the Q&A session. We are now in the Q&A session and we'll be taking the questions one after the other. So we have a question here. Does Microsoft have a contact center solution that works seamlessly with the CRM platform? I think I would be leveraging Chidema to help us with this question. Chidema, can you answer that question, please?
Thank you. Thank you, Babajide, for that wonderful demonstration session. Yes, Microsoft has an application called Enterprise. It's a solution that offers contact center capability and seamlessly integrates with 265 customer aid.
Sorry, can you take that again? I don't think it was audible.
Okay. So I said that we do have contact solutions called Enterprise Voice. The solution offers contact center capabilities and seamlessly integrates with Dynamics 365 customer engagement. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chidema. We also have one more question. So that question talks to what are the possible risks needed to be identified by an organization before taking their storage system to the cloud? Okay. So I think I'll be leveraging Onyinye to help with this question. Onyinye, please, can you just respond to this question?
Okay, thank you, Koya, for the question. It's important that an organization, when they want to move their devices to the cloud, they're always scared and I think about the risk involved. So yes, there are risks involved when you move your data to the cloud. You have issues like data breaching. You have issues like accounts hijacking, whereby you experience spoofing and phishing of emails. But nevertheless, that there are risks involved, Microsoft has provided intelligent security technologies that will help you leverage on this. So you have technologies like ATP that helps with safe links and safe attachments. So in as much as an organization might be bothered about the risk involved, it is also important that they think about the benefits, because when your data is on the cloud, you have high availability of your information on the cloud, and you can leverage on them anytime, anywhere. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Onyinye. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll be leveraging Babajide on this question. So the question is, does Microsoft Dynamics Nav ERP has these features? If yes, how can it be accessed and how can we know it is active on such ERP?
Some of the features that I mentioned here are particularly for Microsoft Dynamics CRM, the customer engagement solution. The ERP might have those modules, but it is not as full-blown out or full-fledged as customer engagement, sales, the marketing, and the customer service. We can provide integration between the CRM and the current ERP we're using. But talking about the features, it's quite limited, very limited on the ERP platform.
Okay, thank you, Babajide. Last question. For some reason, not so clear, but I'll just try as much. So the question is there a way Google search of a keyword that resonates with my business be tracked and possibly target the suffers? Okay. Okay, I get that question now. So like a way where people go to the Googles and just search a keyword that resonates with your business offering, and people can get targeted. I think I'll leverage on Hayodele to take that question.
Okay, hello everyone. So with respect to traffic from search engines, it doesn't, it's not a direct tracking that it does. However, when you run Google Ads, we're able to track and have visibility into data traffic on the keyword search, as well as where such lands or features your websites as landing pages for the traffic going or searching for those keywords. So in that context, yes, we're able to track traffic, but it will be necessary that you at least subscribe to a Google Ads subscription so that those keywords we can then leverage with 365 to capture the data from the keyword searches. Over to you, Koya.
Okay, thank you very much. So for questions relating to the recording of the session and also the slides, we'll be sharing the recording with you within 24 hours. You'll also be getting a PDF of the slides also just within the 24 hours window. Thank you very much, and thank you all for joining this webinar, and we hope to hear from you very soon. Thank you very much. Bye.